Alright, welcome to Everlasting Summer, a visual novel by... I can't remember, I think... I'm gonna check that. Okay, I can't actually find anywhere on Steam it was actually made by. I think it's like Soviet Games or something like that. It is a Russian developer, I think, because it takes place in Russia, but with a sort of anime Japanese kind of style to the game. It is, I think I said it's a visual novel. I've always loved watching people, like YouTubers, play, quote-unquote play, or really read visual novels, so yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. New game. Dear Pioneer, you are on the verge of wondrous discoveries. The doors of the most wonderful place in the world. Our favorite camp, Semyon. I apologize if I pronounce anything Russian wrong. Also, if there's any Russian in the game, I can't read it. If it's in Russian, but it's like translated to English letters, I'll try my best to read it. So, this is just a disclaimer right now. I have opened before you. You'll remember this session for the rest of your life. Welcome. This game has gotten an insane high review rate. It's like 92% of people who played it enjoyed it. So, yeah. I was having that dream once again. That dream. Same thing every night. But it's all forgotten in the morning, as usual. Maybe it's for the best. Only a glimpse of memory will remain of gates, half opened, as if inviting me somewhere, with two frozen stone pioneers standing close. And also, that strange girl, who keeps asking me. I also said I wanted to work on my speech, so hopefully this will help me work on my speech. So, will you come with me? Will you come with me? I'm not gonna try to do voices, that just will not end well. Come? But where? And why? And where am I anyway? Of course, it all would have happened in real life. I would have certainly been scared. It is translated fairly roughly, but actually pretty damn well from Russian, so plus on them. You can opt for English or Russian if you'd want. Like, these words here, I cannot read that, or these words, that word, I can read it, so yeah. This much is sure. But this is just a dream. Same one I see every night. There must be a reason. You don't have to know where or why to realize something is really happening. Something desperate for my attention, since everything that surrounds me here is real. As real as things in my own flat. I could open the gates, hear the hinges creak, brush the crumbling rust away with my hand, inhale the fresh, cool air and shiver from the cold. I could, but to do that, I would need to pick myself up, make a step, move my hand. But this is a dream. I understand that, but what of it? What would change my understanding? Because here it's just like on the other side of the crackling screen of an old TV, which struggles to the fight against static noise and strives to show its audience everything without missing a single detail. But the picture is getting blurry. I must be waking up soon. ... Maybe I should ask her something. The girl. What's her name? About the stars, for instance. Why the stars, though? I'd rather ask about the gates. Yes, the gates. She would be so surprised. Or better, why dot over I was called the does it say tittle? But dot over J was called the superscript dot. Really? Nice letters. As if they don't exist anymore. Still, what do letters, gates, and stars have to do with this place? Because of every night I'm having this dream, which will be forgotten soon anyways, I've got to look for answers here and now. And there, if you look carefully, you can see the Magellanic clouds? I don't know how to pronounce that word. As if I ended up in the southern hemisphere. ... In a dream, there are small things that catch the most of your attention. Unnatural color of grass, impossible curves of straight lines, or your own distorted reflection, while the real danger, which could put an end to everything right here and now, seems a trifle. It's natural, since here you cannot die. I know it for sure, I've done it hundreds of times. But if you cannot die, is there a point in living? I should ask the girl. She's a local, she should know. Yes, exactly. I should ask her about the owl, for example. One strange bird it is. Though, it doesn't matter. Will you come with me? And every time I have to answer, it's the only way, otherwise the dream will never end, and I will never wake up. Ooh, a choice. Yes, I'll come with you. No, I'll stay here. Let's go. Every time, it's so hard to decide on the answer. Where am I? What am I doing here? Who is she? And why does so much of in my life depend on this answer? Or maybe it doesn't. It's just a dream, after all. Just a dream. Blurry keyboard. Did I fall asleep, like, on the keyboard? What's on the screen? The computer screen stared at me as if it was alive. It's like oddly quiet. Apparently there's some noise from the game, but I can't even hear that. Whatever. Oh, it's background noise. Like, sometimes it really did seem to me that it was conscious of itself, had its own thoughts and wishes, ambitions, that it had feelings, could love and suffer. As if in our relationship, the screen wasn't an instrument. It was me, lifeless piece of plastic and textilite. There is some truth in that, probably because the computer provides 90% of my communication with the outside world. Sounds like me. Anonymous image boards, some chats from time to time, really ICQ or Jabber, and forums even more rarely. People on the other end of the internet cable simply do not exist. They are all simply creations of its sick imagination, an error in the source code or a kernel bug, which started living a life of its own. If one looked at my existence from the side, such thoughts... From the side? Such thoughts would seem so mad, and a psychologist would surely give me a bunch of sophisticated diagnosis, and maybe write me a doctor's referral to an asylum. A small apartment with no trace of repair or resemblance of order in it, and always the same view out of the window on the grey megalopolis running somewhere day and night. Such are the conditions of my life. Not a good soundtrack. Oh. Well, of course, it didn't all start like this. I was born, went to school, and finished it, like all the others. I was accepted at the university, where I spent a year and a half trailing and struggling. I drifted through several jobs. Sometimes it was working out quite well. Sometimes I was even getting decent money for it. But it all felt like it was not mine, as if taken from another man's biography. I wasn't living a life to its fullest. It was looping on in monotonous circles, as in the Groundhog Day movie. Shut up, phone. It's just I had no choice in how to spend my day, and every day repeated itself, the same vicious spiral. Spiral of emptiness, misery, and despair. For the last few years, I just sat in front of the screen all day. Sometimes there were menial jobs, sometimes my parents helped me. All in all, I was able to provide for myself. No wonder really, since my needs are quite minor. I hardly leave my home, and my communication with other people almost entirely consists of online correspondence with the anonymous, who have no real name, no gender, no age. So in brief, quite a typical life of a quite typical antisocial person of his time. Kind of Donnie Darko on a minor scale, without doomsday-related visions. Maybe some highly respected director will make a movie about me, and it'll become a classic of modern drama cinema. Or I will make one myself. However, what's the point of fooling myself? I tried many times, but couldn't even come up with a simple script. I've also tried learning many other things. Not gifted enough to draw. Programming, got bored. Foreign languages, takes too much time. The only thing I loved doing was reading, but still I would never have called myself a scholar. Can you not sit on my computer? Come on. Off with the fans! Hey, Spirit! Off! Jesus! Scratch my case. Perhaps I was an ace in watching anime and grandmaster of lame internet jokes. This sounds like me. If I were to get paid for it, I probably would be a happier person, and richer person too, but I doubt it would fill a hole inside me. Oh, it's snowing, just like here. Today was another typical day of a typical loser's typical life. And today is the day when I have to go to my university reunion. Frankly speaking, I really did not want to. What's the point? The time I spent with them was so short. However, I got persuaded by a friend, my former university mate, and one of the few who I kept in touch not only through the internet. A frosty evening. Bus stop. Waiting. I never liked winter, though hot summer is not my season either. It's just that I see no reason to point out any particular time of the year. It doesn't matter much what weather it is outside since you spend 24/7 at home. The bus today was running so late that I was about to curse it all and spend the last few hundred rubles I have for a taxi. The idea of returning home didn't cross my mind for some reason. As usual, millions of thoughts flew through my mind, but there was not a single useful one to seize. Such thought that you could bring to existence, give it a shape, turn it into an idea, and put it into practice. Maybe I could start my own business, but where would I get the money from? Maybe I could go back to working in an office. No way. Maybe I should try freelancing. Well, what skills do I have? Who needs me after all? I suddenly remembered my childhood, or rather teen years, the time when I was 15 to 17 years old. Why exactly those years? No idea. I guess it's because back then everything was much more simple. It was easier to make decisions, so complicated now and so simple then. Waking up in the morning, I knew exactly how my day was going to pass, and I was always eagerly looking forward to the weekend. Then I could get some rest and have time for the things I liked: computer, football, going out with friends. And then, at the beginning of next week, I'd take up my studies again. Back then, there were no such worrying questions as why, who needs it, what will change if I do it, or what will not change. A simple life stream, so casual for any normal person and so odd to myself today. Careless childhood age. It was also then that I met my first love. Her appearance and character have vanished from my memory. Only her name remains, like a brief line from a social network profile, along with the feelings, which overwhelmed me when I was with her. Affection, tenderness, desire to care for her and to protect her. Sadly, it didn't last long. Today I can hardly imagine something like that happening. I'd probably like to meet a girl, but I don't know how to start a conversation, what on earth to discuss, and how to attract her. Well, I haven't met a suitable girl for a long time. But where could I meet one? The sound of an engine working brought me back to reality. The bus pulled over. There was something abnormal about it, I thought. Then again, doesn't matter. Only the 410 runs this route. Why is the bus on fire? Streetlights passing me. It is as if their cold light sparks inside of me, trying to light up my feelings long dead. Or maybe not sparks, just wakens them. Because those feelings, they have been living in me for a long time, quelling down and waking up again. The driver's radio was playing some very familiar tune, but I wasn't listening to it. I was watching the cars passing by through the fogged-up window. Because people are always rushing somewhere, chasing something they need, stuck in their own little worlds. Why would they care about mine? They probably have their own serious problems, or maybe they have much easier lives. You can't know for sure, since all people are different, or aren't they? Sometimes someone's actions can easily be predicted, but if you try to look inside his soul, you only see impenetrable darkness. ... The bus was approaching downtown, and my thoughts were interrupted by the bright city lights. Hundreds of ad boards, thousands of cars, millions of people. I was watching this light show, and somehow I got terribly sleepy. My eyes closed just for a moment, and then... Oh, cutscene. Oh, hello. See, I can't read these names, though. I hope when they give me them, they're in English. Or, well, not English, but at least English letters, so I can attempt to read them. Whoa. Okay, then. With this series, I might learn how to do, censorship. Okay then. What's on the front of the bus? I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this says Everlasting Summer on it. That's just my guess, since it seems to be the logo of the game. Novel. This is free to play, by the way. A completely free game. So if you want to pick it up and follow along with me, then go ahead. It's on Steam for free. Day 1. Bright daylight struck my eyes. At first I didn't pay attention, as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. So my name is Semyon? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't want to be butchering other languages, but I don't think I have that many Russian viewers anyways, so... Damn, looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. But there were no doors. There's no doors on this bus? I looked around the bus and I realized that it wasn't a good old worn-out Marco Polo. Instead, the bus was an Icarus model, and new. I was frozen in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. I touched my body wildly. Whoa. Slapped myself in the face a few times. Struck the back of the front chair with my forehead. Calm down there, guy. The outside he has to look insane. It's clear, either I'm still alive, or being dead you can still feel the pain. But how could all of this happen? Maybe I was asleep for too long and ended up in the bus depot. And then what? Did they put me onto another bus? Well, somehow I got out. And look, there's doors. I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery wherever I looked. Tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers. Summer. But how? It was winter just a moment ago. I had a terrible headache, as if my head was going to explode. Sorry about that. Step by step, I started to recall. Looks like winter just transforming into summer. Yeah, doesn't it? A long road running towards the horizon. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was sleeping, but how then can I remember all of it? And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She was softly whispering something to my ear. Then a gap began. Try to remember things this vividly. And then I woke up here. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best way to look for her is to get away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped hesitating where to go, and finally ran in the direction where the bus probably came from. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Thoughts become clearer, and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Does it really? Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat by gulping hot air. Right, because he spends all his time indoors. In any case, the run did its work. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I'm really just dreaming. Though after recalling my self-harm, I immediately rejected the idea. I am neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road was running through the field and far into the distance. That exact road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. And it's not that it was winter yesterday and it's complete summer now. It is about the environment. Of course, the summer is usually like that, green and hot, but here everything is not just like in real life. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artist of the... Oh, I can't read that many Roman numerals. We got 10, 1, and a 10. 21? I don't know. No, that's this century. From a century. I can't read that. I know the X's are 10s, but I don't know what X1X, XIX means. Whatever. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be. They are so thick that you can't see anything through them. Like treetops, honestly. It kind of does look like that. And the trees themselves. The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their even ranks and were now just waiting for an order to advance into the fields and plains. I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which is now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear took over me once again. And those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Even hell can have power lines. Baking and roasting the sinners is too old-fashioned. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have the choice, I should rather pick the second option. I slowly headed back to the bus. Of course, it was frightening. But I'm not likely to find an answer in the fields or the woods, and this wretched bucket of screws is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. Hey! This is the sign, the gate. I should carefully scout the area. Sovionic means outlet. Okay. A brick wall and its gates crowned with Sovionic sign. So it actually translates it for me? Outlet? Wait, what's outlet? Fuck, I don't even know English. Statues of pioneers at the sides and a road sign nearby showing the bus route, number 410. This is like a spitting image of the dream except without stars and the owl. The trip's taking a bit too long today. What? I smirked. A person may start acting inadequately in extreme situations. Something like is probably happening to me now. Take out the word like. Something is probably happening to me now. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage to the walls. Sovionic. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I should stop caring so much. What can have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kid's summer camp. And this camp seems to be working. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically, explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp, that girl from his dreams! Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from hallucination to time and space shift. None was worse than the other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. I don't know, going through time and space sounds kind of cool. But he said the clouds looked as if he was on the southern hemisphere, Well, Russia's in the northern hemisphere. Ooh. Then it all came to me. I can try to make a phone call. I took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. Dead. Or busy. That sounds more like the busy tone, actually. I don't use phones very often, except for texting. But instead of signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Ooh. Alright, there may be no signal in such a backward country place. Though I can not be the only one who got here. Buses don't go on their own. That's true. I checked the bus from all sides to make sure that it wasn't a hallucination. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded out paint and worn out tires. No, this is definitely a very ordinary Icarus. Yeah, exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came up by itself, sporadically, because it wasn't a right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curbstone beside the bus and started waiting. And all of you will have to wait till the next episode. I'm evil. I hope you guys enjoy this series because I am loving it so far. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.